So in this video we'll be doing the SAUNA box from HackTheBox, and the IP address is 10.120.96.93. So this changes according to the subscription. Let's see the nmap scan results. I have already done the nmap scan to save some time, and you can see DNS server and the web server, and you see the Kerberos and Active Directory LDAP. So you can assume that this is an Active Directory server, and the domain name is egotisticalbank.local. And if you visit the website, you don't get much information. And here there are some blog posts, and here you can see the usernames. These are also not much value. These become useless. And in the about us page, you will have these usernames. Now you can see these usernames can be made into the word list. So I have already made this word list. I have just added this first letter of the first name, and followed by the second name. So here you can see all the combinations. Now we can use a tool called Kerberos to authenticate against this Kerberos to check whether this user exists or not. So we will get different response whether this if the user exists. Kerberos, and if you run this, and you can see the option is user enum, and we need to specify the domain. And we need to specify the DC, that is the domain controller, and then we need to specify users.txt. And here you can see we got only two valid names, F Smith and H Smith. Now we can use impacket get np users to check any Kerberos pre-authentication not required users. So they will have this don't require pre-auth set in the user control user account control. So I think it's single dash TCP. I think we need to specify something like users file, or we can just simply request there are only two users. We can say F Smith. So we don't have password, just hit enter, and we got the TGT for the F Smith. So this TGT is encrypted with this F Smith account password. There is no we can't get the TGT for this because there is no the don't require period not set for this user. So we can crack this using the John the Ripper. So it's simply John word list and the hash. After cracking, you will get the password in john.pot file, and here you can see the password is the strokes 23. So we can log in using WinRM. Username is F Smith and the password is the strokes 23. And now I have run this power up. It did not give any results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some script that is in my GitHub repository, and it checks it checks some basic checks like Kerberos table, and this is the binary we are using, ad auto enum. So it will check for the few checks. So we first it will check as reprostable, Kerberos, and the users description field, and then DC sync users, and then delegation accounts. So I have already downloaded this one, adautoenum.exe, and uh, you can basically run the bloodhound on this one and get the information. So bloodhound will directly give you the information that a particular user has this DC sync capability. So that means that user can request the DC any latest changes to the global catalog, and obviously we can get the hashes of all the users. And here we can see user.txt, and you can submit there. Now let's go and host this. Now we need to download this adautoenum.exe, PowerShell, execution policy bypass, and using wget. And output file we can place in the current location, and we should see the get request from the machine. Now let's go and run this. And here you can see the Kerberoastable users. The HSmith account has the SPN set, the service principal name SAUNA / hsmith.domain. And ASRF roastable users, we have smith. So that's how we got into this initial foothold. And the DC sync capable users, so these are pretty common, domain controllers, administrators, enterprise administrators, etc. And down you have this SVC loan manager. So this guy also has this replication get changes all. So we need to get to this account so that we can dump the hashes of all the users. And here you can also see the description field of users and nothing juicy. So I have run the WinPiece for any local privilege escalation, and I have found the auto logon credentials. So you can run the WinPiece. It's gonna take some time, and you get these credentials. This one is the password for SVC loan manager. So since we have the password and this user has the replication changes, we can go ahead and use secrets dump. Actually I forgot this usage, the syntax. So anyway, let's just figure this out. DCIP I think we can use this syntax, SVC loan mgr colon password @ IP address. So this syntax is pretty common for the impact tools. and we can see we got the hash. So we can copy this NTLM hash and try to log in. As administrator, I think capital H. If the computer is still using this NTLM version 1, we can be successfully logged in. And we can see we got the administrator access. Now we can go and fetch the root.txt. Okay, that's all for this video. This SAUNA box. First we have collected the usernames from the website, and we have used the brute to brute force the valid usernames, and from those usernames we have found this fsmith user having this don't require pre-authentication set, and then we got the hash. Because of the weak password, we successfully cracked the password and logged in, and after some enumeration we came to know that SVC loan manager has this replication changes all, and we have escalated to that user using the auto login credentials found by the WinPiece, and with that we have dumped the hashes of all the users. Since it's using NTLM version 1, it also accepts the hash instead of password. So that's how we logged in as administrator.